darkness surrounds us. It's time to light up the night. It's time for Zero Dark 30 with John.
Yay! Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. We're calling them out, folks. We're calling them out. It's Friday, folks. And oh yeah, this afternoon will be the Friday free-for-all, where we're going to go back and forth and talk about everything that's going on. All right, but for now, calling them out, calling it like it is, telling the truth. Never, folks, has there been a time, right, where the truth is being revealed to be the enemy of my enemy, and they do not like it. I've got two great examples to talk about, and then we can think about it for ourselves. How do we apply this in our lives? Folks, we're going to get prepared. We're already there. We're getting better prepared all the time. Better health, clearer minds, understanding what's going on, having a clear path forward. Clear path forward so we understand what to expect and what we're going to do in it. I sure hope you're taking those steps and spending some extra time thinking about this stuff. You don't have to think about it all day, just a little bit here and there. Anyways, what am I talking about? Calling them out. Well, right, speak the truth and the truth will set you free. The people, the bad guys, the Democrats, they don't want the truth out here, folks. They don't want anyone speaking the truth. It's apparent. They want silence. Zip, right? They want silence. No one's allowed to talk. That's why all the censorship. That is the only reason for censorship, is so the truth cannot be revealed. Well, Mike Pence, former vice president, is out there speaking his story, and someone called him out. That's right, folks. Was it another politician? No, they're gutless sellouts. Was it a member of the media? No, they are a bunch of pandering morons. Well, who called out Mike Pence? A regular person. And said, hey, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have Joe Biden in the White House. That takes some guts, folks. It takes a lot of bravery to stand up to one of these scumbags at that level and say something true like that. If it was not for Mike Pence, we wouldn't have Joe Biden in the White House. There was momentum, folks, huge momentum to stop the election process, which is not just voting, folks. There's so much more to it, and we're getting a good education about how it works. But there are other people in the way, or rather other people who had a job, a duty, a responsibility. That responsibility, folks, was well laid out. In fact, since then, there have been many elections around the world, in fact, that have been stopped and redone because of inconsistencies, because of illegalities, because what was going on was wrong. Well, if it wasn't for Mike Pence, right, we wouldn't have Joe Biden. We would have a lot of questions like, how did that doddering old fool get 91 million votes? They couldn't have the truth come out that the entire election system across the country was completely and totally and absurdly falsified. They couldn't have that, so they had to silence us, me and you. But someone is speaking out, and people are getting pissed off. Regular people like you and me, that this is what they're doing, that this is the program, that they're stealing our rights, stealing our lives, stealing our money, trying to steal our children. They can't have the truth come out because it hurts their cause, the bad guys. Hurts their cause. Well, Mike Pence needs to be called out, folks. The guy is an absolute dickhead. He just is. Now, let's continue with calling them out. Well, we had the Philadelphia shooter just last weekend, right? Killed 5 adults, injured 2 kids. Well, that's terrible. No doubt. No doubt. You're calling it the Philly Massacre. Turns out it was committed by a trans thing. That's right. So guess what? Someone let that out. Someone let that information out. Someone made sure that information got to the press, got to the people, got to the ears of others who need to know, and it spread like wildfire. The media's trying to hide it. Let's not talk about that. But, well, it got out. The truth, the facts. These people are dangerous. They're mentally ill. Whether severely mentally ill or just mildly, it's all mental illness, is it not? Right? There's no being a little bit pregnant, as the joke used to go. Now it's, well, men can get pregnant. There's the joke. That's a serious joke, folks. That's a serious fucking falsity. Okay, well, so what has become of this exposure of them, calling them out? Well, a member, an activist member of the trans and BLM community. How about that? A connection between BLM and LGB. Surprised? Not at all. Anyways, he came out, or she, whatever it is, and said that exposing them and exposing the trans community, that's all they do is expose themselves, for fuck's sake. Exposing that person as being a trans person, a member of the LGBT community, so that the world knows that they are the ones who committed these heinous acts of murder. By doing that, by revealing who they are, that's an act of violence against them. What? Remember, oh yeah, a microaggression is saying something, it upsets one of them. That's the world they live in, where they consider that the same as a punch, or being hit with a bat, or being shot at. They consider that a serious offense to them. To offend them is to be an act of violence. Isn't that awesome? How do they come up with that? To be offended is the same as an act of violence. Well, that's what they're saying. All trans people have now been assaulted by us for exposing the fact, for revealing the fact, for discussing the fact that the person who murdered 5 others, that's some real violence. It's an act of violence, right? So, here we are, folks. They're revealing who they are. Somebody in the White House, somebody leaked the fact that there was cocaine found, and that got out to us. Truth, fact. Now, Senator Cotton, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton said he demands that the Secret Service release all information. Well, he can demand till he's blue in the face, folks, but what he's helped reveal is that there is no accountability in government. There's no accountability. There is no accountability in the bureaucracy. Right? In Washington, D.C., you can't hold those people accountable. You can't make anyone do their job, much less be honest and truthful. So yeah, here we are. Here we are. What about this cocaine? You think that the Secret Service, who are now scheduling the investigation to end, to conclude in a couple of days. That's right, we're done now. We can't seem to find out who the person was. The cameras just weren't really clear. Really. Seriously. With all the money the federal government has, need to protect the president in the White House itself, the cameras just aren't really well placed. They're not really clear. I'm not buying it for a fucking second. It's revealing to us, folks, that they're all liars, and the world knows. The more of us that call them out, the better off we're all going to be. Truly, we need to call them out at every instance and speak loudly a voice of freedom, a voice of truth and liberty, to expose these people for what they are. If we don't, we're going to get what we deserve, right? I mean, these fruitcakes love to say silence is violence. Well, saying anything is violence. Silence, no matter what, it's considered violence against them. What is it when it comes to you, folks? Attempting to take my constitutional rights is an act of political violence. How's that one? And in response, there should be like action, right? Stopping them and punishing them. Stand up for yourselves, folks. Stand up for your rights. Speak your truth, right? Speak your truth. Call them out to other people. It's incredible, folks. You can go watch on YouTube, right? All kinds of just bizarre, weird shit, right? You want to watch someone wax a man's fat ass, remove the hair. You want to watch someone do reconstructive breast surgery or any number of things. Brazilian wax job on a woman, no problem. Put that on there. Right? But don't you dare talk about certain topics. How does that make any sense? Well, it really doesn't, except that they don't want to be called out. So what that tells me is if they're telling me no, then I need to say, yeah, I'm going to do it. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Semper Fi. God bless America.